Eoin, bad day at the office?
I don't think it was that bad a day. I think fielding wise it was. We've gone probably from one of our best performances in the field at the Oval to not extremely bad, but it's cost us probably about 15 or 20 runs in the field, which is a lot in a one-day game. I think our performance throughout the tournament with the bat and the ball will ebb and flow. We'll have bad days. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought with the ball we restricted them. They never really got away with us, given that the wicket was good and the outfield was very fast. And when we recovered with the bat, with that substantial partnership, we were never really out of the game, probably until the early 40s over, yeah.
What do you put the field and performance down to?
Yeah, I mean, we've done all the work. I think it's just a really bad day in the field. It hasn't happened a lot with us, but there were mistakes that we don't normally make, which is disappointing.
Was there an element of being a bit overawed by the crowd, like the vocal Pakistan support I saw, obviously?
No, not at all. No, we've prepared for all this sort of stuff. When we play against Asian teams, it's always a home game for those guys. They tend to be louder than our support, so we've prepared for that. Yeah.
Ali to our
Owen, what's going to be the message to the players on the back of that performance?
Yeah, there are some really good positives to take out of our batting and our bowling, but fielding is an attitude thing. So it's a matter of taking maybe our standoff attitude today that we had in the field and getting it back to our positive attitude, going for everything, creating that fearless nature about maybe taking a half chance instead of standing off a normal chance.
And presumably chasing 350 odd, if I told you that two of your best batsmen were going to get 100, you'd still expect to chase it, so something else has gone wrong there, hasn't it?
Sort of. I'm never a big believer that hundreds win you games, particularly in this day and age. I think it's always a unit performance, particularly chasing down 350 or even more, and today's a good example of that. The guys did play brilliantly, but they just kept us in the game. They needed more help from either the other four in the top six or guys down the order.
Can you pass the microphone to Vish behind, and then to Stefan?
It's asked with the benefit of hindsight, but do you think you could have gone a bit earlier in terms of trying to push the rate up, because it seemed like you were always slightly behind even when you had big overs in the last 10?
I don't think so. I only think we were two big overs behind. So if you have two big overs of say between 16 and 18, which is always possible when Joss is at the crease, I think you're right back in the game. And then you don't ask too much of the guys coming in then. They never really came. But I mean, was it 14 we were short, or 12 or 14? It's not that far away. So like I mentioned, the two guys played brilliantly.
Were you surprised by Pakistan's intensity today, or I suppose maybe impressed by it?
Not really, no. There's not very much that surprised me when we play against Pakistan. You just don't expect everything.
Stefan, next to you.
There seemed to be a few conversations about the ball going on out there when England were batting, and then when Joss was dismissed, he had a good look at it on his way back to the pavilion. Do you know what that was about?
The discussions were throughout the whole of the two innings. The umpires came to me after about 20, can't remember the exact over, but it was mid-innings, and it seemed to think that we were throwing the ball in on the bounce too much, or it was being over-exaggerated, and they emphasised that it would be the same for the both. So it was relayed back to us then that the conversations that were stopping the game were that Pakistan were doing the exact same thing, and Joss was just intrigued to see if when the ball gets hit against the LED boards, it does scuff it up quite a lot, and I'm sure he was interested to see if one side was rougher than the other, or it looked natural or unnatural.
Did he say anything about it when he returned?
No, I haven't spoken to him about it, yeah.
Pass it along to Guy, and then we'll do Lawrence and take one more after that, George.
Given how close the defeat was, how frustrated is the dressing room after that, Owen?
I think frustrated in the fact that we could have done something about it. Like I mentioned, with the bat you can get bowled out. You can play against a side that's better than you, or just have an off day. Same with the ball. But when it comes down to the difference of the sides being in the field, it's even more frustrating.
And what can Johnny and Jason do about this new tactic that they're being hit with leg spinner in the first couple of overs?
Just be themselves. Be aggressive, be positive, approach it in the same manner. They are doing that. Yeah.
Has it unsettled them at all, do you think?
No. We talked about it before today's game, that it might happen again. Actually surprised a little bit that Imad didn't play, because we talked about him potentially taking the new ball.
Last one, George.
We bit of a struggle with the over 8 again. Is that because Adil couldn't get through all 10 overs, and is that going to be a problem going forward?
I think our over 8's good. About 3 overs to go, we were level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finished 20 past, didn't it?
I don't wear a watch when I'm playing, sorry. The umpires are only my gauge. They said I was level with about 3 overs to go.
So you're pretty confident England are in the clear in that regard?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It wasn't an issue. Yeah. If it does, like I said before, if it does become an issue, we'll have to address it, but it's normally all right.